recursion in C programming. This is also one more important topic for the academics as well as for interviews which are related to C. Now, first we need to understand what is meant by recursion. Now, recursion is nothing but a iterative process, right? Now, iterative is nothing but already we have iterative statements. What are the iterative statements? For loop, while loop and do while loop. So, with the iterative statements, whatever the programs we are doing, the same programs we can do with the recursion also. But what the advantage we have with the recursion, what the drawbacks we have with the iterative statements, will understood soon. Now, first we'll see the definition of the recursion. A function that calls itself is known as a recursive function, and this technique is known as the recursion. That means I'm calling a function sum in order to add two numbers. Now, if you call the same function again, function within that function, both the functions are of same type, so that we call it as a recursive function. That means sum is calling again itself. Sum calls some function only. This we call it as a recursive function, and this technique is known as recursion. Clear? Now, how to write a recursive function? We'll see an example. Now, void recursives. Here, recursive is a function, open and close bracket, so that because this is if you have any open bracket and close bracket, that is nothing but a function. We have some set of statements over here. Again, we are calling that which function? Recursive. We have two types of functions, calling functions and called functions. Actually, this is a called function, right? So, function definition, function body is nothing but called function. We discussed that in the last video. From this function body, again what we are doing? Again we are calling the same function. Within the function, we are calling the same function until some condition is satisfied. This function is called as the recursive function. This process is known as the recursion. Now, normally in the main program, we have recursive function. So, first control call goes to the recursive function, right? So, first it goes to the recursive function. First control goes to the recursive function. It executes this block, and again the recursive function is called. Again this block moves to back. So, this recursive function will be executed as soon as until some condition is satisfied. We have to write some conditions over there according to our program. Then this recursive function will be stopped. If you not write any of the condition, if you are not specifying the condition, then the control never comes out of the recursive functions. So, this may lead to the system fault also. So, whenever we are working with the recursive functions, it must be ensures that it should have an ending condition. Then only this will result very perfectly. Otherwise, it will go for the condition false and the statements are executed under these functions are repeatedly. System may crash. Right? Now, how to declare this? Actually, how this recursion will work? Previously, I already told you. Now, void recursive is there. So, first of all, when you execute your program, control starts from main execution, right? Next, it executes the some of the statements. Then we are calling a recursive function. So, where is the recursive? It goes to the recursive function, right? In this, it enters into the block. So, in this block, after completing of this block only, again control come back to the main function and to execute these statements. Now, in this recursive function, again what we are doing? This step is executed again. Again you are calling what? Recurse. Here the recurse function, here the recurse function, both should be of same. That means without parameters. Same recursion, same recursion. Again if you make a recurse call, control again moves back to the recursive function. So this process is repeated until the condition is satisfied. Then control come back to the statements after the recursive function. That is, these statements will be executed. So this process is known as recursion. Clear? So this recursion will be helpful when if you have repeatedly executed statements. So the recursion continues until some condition is met to prevent it. To prevent infinite recursion, if-else statement or similar approach can be used where one branch makes the recursive call and other does not. That means what? If you want to implement a condition, we have to work out with the if-else condition only. Otherwise, if you work out with a for loop or while loop, again it will be continuously executed. So if else also we can use, similar approach also we can use. Similar approach is nothing but switch case also we can use it in this. Now what the advantages and disadvantages we have with the recursion? Recursion makes the program elegant. The thing but its execution will be not as much as a faster compared to for loop. However, if performance is vital, use loops instead of as recursion is usually much slower. So recursion is implementation is difficult and execution is also takes much time. So that means its execution is slower compared to for loops. That being said, recursion is important concept. It is frequently used in the data structures and algorithms. For the example, it is common to use recursion in problems such as tree traversals. When you're talking with the data structures and algorithms, so the recursion plays a vital role in data structures and algorithms. Example, tree traversals. And more programs we have with the recursion, Fibonacci series, factorial number. I already posted video on the factorial of a number. The same program we can do with the help of the recursion also. But execution time will be different for those programs and this programs. Now we see an example based on the recursion concept. This is an example of recursion program. Here into main I am declaring some statements. Result is equals to sum and the number. So if I am giving the number, what will happen? So this is a calling function. So this calling function will call the called function, right? Now in this block what we are writing, int sum int n. So this number what we have, that number came as 3. In this block of thing, what the code we are writing, if n not equals to 0, return n plus sum of n minus 1. That means sum, same function as sum, number minus 1. That means number minus 1 nothing but 2. So again we are calling the same function sum number with 2. So when you write this function sum number minus 1, it calls the same number function. That means this block of code will be executed again. So this is that block, right? Now number 2 not equals to 0, return 2 plus sum of n minus 1. Sum of 2 minus 1, that means 1. Again you are calling the same function sum with the number 1. So that is the block of this. Sum 1 not equals to 0, return 1 plus sum of 1 minus 1. That means sum of 0. Again you are calling the same function with the number as 0. That is this block, right? Now n becomes 0. 0 not equals to 0, condition false. So if condition false, control what happens? It goes to the else part. In else part what you are returning? Return n. At the final stage the value of n is 0. Now 0 is returned to where? From where we call this sum of 0. We call this sum of 0 from here. Sum 1 minus 1 0. So what the value you given from this body of the function? 0. The 0 is returned here, right? So here sum n is 1. This will give the value as 0. 1 plus 0, whole thing becomes 1. So this 1 will be returned back to this function. 2 plus sum of 2 minus 1. Sum of 1. So what the sum of 1 given? 1. 2 plus 1. That means 3. Now this 3 is returned. So this function from where we are calling? From this function. Sum 2 we called. So sum 2 function, what it has given? 3. So this 3 will be passed back. Now this 3 plus sum of 2, which is returned as 3. 3 plus 3. So that is 6. So from where you call this sum of 3 function from this place. So sum of 3 have the values as 6. The 6 will be stored as the result as here. That means as soon as you pass the value is decreased and you are calling the same function. So that will be a value. Again that function will be called with another value. So again that function will call with another value. That function will call with another value. So this value returned 0 that is stored to the above step. This will give the one that will be forward back to the above step, that is 1. This value and the previous value will be added and that will be passed back, and that will be passed back to the main function. That means sum of the numbers, that means 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 0. So sum of the n digit number is this program. Here n is nothing but 3. Sum of the 3 numbers, 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 0, that is 6. The output of this program is 6. So this is a way of writing the program in recursion. Now we see the program with the live. Now this program is related to sum of the 3 numbers. Now I have written the same program here. N is 3. I am calling a sum function with the number 3. So the number 3 is here. 3 not equals to 0. So 3 plus sum of 2 will be called. Again sum of 1 will be called. Again sum of 0 will be called. So the result of each and every one function will be added to the previous value. So the overall sum of the things will be 6. Now I am compiling the program. Now run the program. Now the same output will be as 6. Now trace the program F7. Now it is called, sum function is calling. Now n not equals to 0. 3 plus sum of 2 is calling. So with sum function is called with the 2 number. So previous is 3. Now 2 plus sum of 1. 3 plus 2 5. Sum of 1. 1 not equals to 0. 1 plus sum of 0. Now return. Why? Because the condition is false there. Now control moves back to the main function. Now we got the output is this. So this is a program related to sum of the n numbers. If you take, instead of 3, if you take n as 100, 100 plus 99 plus 98, so on up to 1, it will be calculated. Thank you. Thank you for watching my videos. If you like my videos, please share and subscribe. In the last video, I already asked a question. Please give the response in the comment section. Thank you.